Hello, crewmates and cruise addicts. This is GFree, your cruise therapist, with your daily boarding call for Tuesday, July 28th, 2026. Thanks for tuning in and welcome aboard the Daily Boarding Call, where we unpack today's biggest cruise and travel headlines without charging you an overweight baggage fee or pretending that your carry-on fits inside that little metal measuring box. Coming up, Virgin Voyages is taking its adults-only vacation to Scandinavia and to the Baltics. Royal Caribbean is replacing Bonaire with a less common Colombia port on one sailing, and growing Caribbean competition could mean more winter cruise choices and possibly better deals. Plus, Generation X is finally getting on board with river cruising. Royal Caribbean reports another strong quarter, and the FAA says hundreds of Boeing 737 MAX jets may need seat inspections. So grab your coffee or your cocktail, your passport, and your emotional support luggage. It's time for today's boarding call. First up, Virgin Voyages is heading north into brand new waters. Virgin Voyages is taking its adult-only cruises to Scandinavia and the Baltics because apparently Amsterdam, the Norwegian fjords, and a ship without children were not already enough temptation. The Valiant Lady will homeport in Amsterdam for Virgin's first Scandinavia and Baltic season during the summer of 2028. The new program includes 6 sailings and maiden visits to 15 ports across Northern Europe. Passengers will be able to explore the Norwegian fjords, Copenhagen, Hamburg, and other destinations around Scandinavia and the Baltic Sea. Amsterdam's beautiful fjords and an adults-only ship? That itinerary says leave the children with somebody responsible and pack the good coat. These sailings run from July through early September, giving Virgin passengers a completely different option from the line's usually Mediterranean and Caribbean vacation. Just remember, Northern Europe in the summer can still have cool, rainy days. Pack layers, that cute little sleeveless cruise outfit may meet a Norwegian breeze and immediately file for an early retirement. Bonaire is out, Colombia is in. Royal Caribbean is changing 1 January 2027 itinerary aboard the Grandeur of the Seas. Royal Caribbean dropped Bonaire from one itinerary and added a rare Colombia stop, so somebody's snorkeling plans just became a surprise cultural tour. Now, itinerary changes are permitted under cruise line contracts, but that doesn't mean passengers have to be happy about them. The replacement still may be exciting, especially because it offers a port that appears less often on mainstream Caribbean cruises. But this is another reminder not to book an entire vacation emotionally attached to one stop. Cruise itineraries are plans, not blood oaths. The Caribbean is getting crowded with cruise ships this winter, and for once, all that competition may be good news for you on a vacation budget. The Caribbean is preparing for an especially competitive winter season. Cruise capacity is expected to increase by 10% compared with last year, meaning more ships, more cabins, and more cruise lines competing for passengers. And competition can be good for you and me, crewmates and cruise addicts. It may lead to stronger promotions, more onboard credit offers, or softer prices on select itineraries. The cruise lines are fighting for our business. Someone should tell them to lower the price on those drink packages. Rum and Coke is free 99 at my house. But do not assume every sailing will suddenly become inexpensive. Holiday cruises, new ships, suites, and popular dates can still command premium prices. The best deal is not always the lowest fare. Compare the cabin, itinerary, included benefits, taxes, and extra onboard expenses. A $3.99 cruise is not really $3.99 once the Wi-Fi, drinks, gratuities, and emotional steak dinner gets involved. Better yet, if the internet is too crazy, call your agent. We have access to the most current promotions, perks, and deals. Generation X is discovering river cruising because after surviving latchkey childhoods, cassette tapes, and dial-up internet, we have earned wine services on the Danube. Generation X is increasingly getting on board with river cruising. Yes, we are the generation that was told to come home when the streetlights turned on and now ready for wine tasting on the Rhine. River Cruise Company says more Generation X travelers are interested in smaller ships, immersive destinations, and vacations that are organized without feeling overly scheduled. In other words, we want someone to handle the transportation, but we do not want to be marched around through Europe with people holding a numbered paddle. Gen X travelers may be especially drawn to active excursions, flexible dining, local food and wine, and itineraries with more time to explore independently. And honestly, after spending years helping everybody else plan family vacation, we deserve to sit on a riverboat and let someone bring us cheese and wine and crackers and fruit. Royal Caribbean had a strong quarter that it raised its full year forecast. Apparently, everybody said they were cutting back this year, then went out and booked a balcony cabin anyway. The company generated $4.8 billion in revenue and carried approximately 2.4 million guests during the quarter. Strong demand, especially from people booking closer to the sail date, helped the company exceed expectation. Everybody keeps saying the economy is uncertain. Then Royal Caribbean checks the bookings and says, apparently not near Coco Cay. Everyone knows it's a perfect day at Coco Cay. Strong results may encourage the company to continue investing in new ships, destinations, and onboard experiences. But for us, the consumer and cruiser, it also confirms that demand remains high and prices will most likely remain high as well. So when you see that cabin and price you want, do not wait 3 months expecting it to please, baby, please beg for your attention. That balcony may get gone before you finish discussing it with the family in the group chat. Now, let's taxi over to airline news. The FAA says hundreds of Boeing 737 MAX jets may need their seats inspected because apparently the one thing passengers expect from an airline seat is for it to remain part of the airplane. Go figure. The proposed directive affects 453 U.S. registered MAX 8 and MAX 9 aircrafts, and properly installed seats could potentially detach during severe turbulence or emergency landing or interfere with passengers trying to evacuate. Now listen, Linda. I already have concerns about flying. Then I have concerns about legroom. Then I have problems and concerns about the seat reclining and a stranger using my armrest. Now you mean to tell me I have to have concerns over the airline seats? This does not mean every Boeing 737 MAX seat is loose, and the FAA's action is intended to identify and correct the problem before it causes an incident. The airlines would be responsible for completing the required inspections and repairs. Or do I need to start crawling underneath every seat with a flashlight and an Allen wrench? My job should be to fasten my seatbelt and pray, and now I will be praying that the seat is also fastened to the plane itself. The tip of the day: when a cruise line changes a port, review every reservation connected to the original itinerary. Check cruise lines' excursions, independent tours, restaurant reservations, transportation plans, and any prepaid activities. Cruise line excursions are generally adjusted or refunded according to the company's policy. Independent operators may have different cancellation rules, so contact them immediately. Save the cruise line's notification and take screenshots of your revised itinerary. And never, ever, never, ever book a non-refundable flight or hotel based entirely on a mid-cruise port remaining unchanged. Because when the ship changes direction, your private tour guide should not be standing in Bonaire holding a sign while you're eating bandeja paisa in Colombia. Now, I want to hear from you. Would Virgin Voyages' new Scandinavia and Baltic itineraries tempt you into cruising Northern Europe? Would you be disappointed if Bonaire was replaced with a Colombia port? And Generation X, are you ready to trade the big ship for wine and castle along the river? I know what my thoughts are, but leave your answers in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hey, again, I'm GFree, your cruise therapist. Follow the Cruise Therapy Podcast on Facebook for more cruise news, travel alerts, destination trends, and of course, cruise therapy. Until our next therapy session, keep calm, keep cruising, and keep listening, and I'll see you aboard the Star Princess. Let's meet at the Butcher's Block by Dario. Order me the Costa Albasteca Fiorentina medium rare, and I'll let you pick the wine. Bye!